Hello everyone. Hello everyone. I all hope you all enjoyed your wonderful, blessed holiday and everything else that comes and everything else that exactly came with it as well, guys. Well, as you can see, guys, today I'm extremely exactly back as well to continuing my journey and everything else as well. But despite that, guys, I'm completely foreverly grateful for you guys' support from TikTok Shorts and from those of you subscribing and from those of you completely subscribing and from those of you completely exactly still watching my channel in YouTube and from TikTok as well. Your support completely means a lot to me, as in like literally means completely a lot to me. May you all have a blessed day and a great sunny day. We're gonna be doing this episode now, and we're gonna get to it now as well. One more thing, guys. I'm very foreverly grateful for your guys' support. Could you all please just do me a big, huge of a favor? Try to persuade as much of your friends and family who are interested, who are very much quietly interested in what I'm exactly in what I'm exactly doing and also shooting as well, which is gratefully for all of you guys. For those of you guys who are actually trying to, for those of you guys who are completely interested in for those of you guys who are completely interested in exactly what I'm doing as well will completely mean a lot. So I would I'll be very much be happy if you can try to get as many people to subscribe as well. But despite that, guys, I'm forever grateful for your guys' support. May you have a blessed day and keep pushing and stay strong and stay very blessed and keep going no matter how hard and no matter how difficult it is. So let's get right into it. On today's episode, we're to speak about the dark witches who are very powerful and very sinister and very sinister and very ancient. They are extremely immortal, powerful dark witches that have lived throughout the entire sacred that have lived throughout the entire that have lived throughout the entire sacred that have lived throughout the entire sacred universe's history for over decades and for over centuries. They have known for their great mastery power of manipulation and deception and great power of dark magic of dark magic and scientific knowledge of their own power, able to manipulating events from behind the scenes, and they are also very quietly good in forming formidable alliances with one of the most shadowy elite criminal organizations, which they also provide their services to them as remaining as they hidden associates, as a hidden shadowy associate. In return, these ancient criminal powerful elite organizations, or the secret society of supervillains would provide them with more power and with more control to having more control and more dominion over many sacred countries and sacred worlds and sacred civilizations across the rest of the entire sacred magic universe and throughout sacred society, and especially within the sacred great nations. So let us proceed. So let us exactly proceed right away. Throughout the following decades, or the following centuries, when the monsters that live on the physical plane, not the actual monsters that come from the dark dimension, which there are two different types. The monsters on the physical plane within sacred society have been wreaking enormous amounts of havoc for the past few decades within sacred society's greatest villages, clans, and greatest nations, which the fairies and the seven nation hunters and the four nation hunters banded together to fight these creatures that are wreaking so much carnage and so much havoc upon their wake as well. During which on that time, the group of the most powerful shadowy elite dark witches took a higher proper interest in putting their goals into full preparation, and to beginning their full examination and studying the situation as they're supposed to. During which on that particular time, the dark witches began investing their full interest with the monsters on this dimension, on this mortal plane, on the physical plane, meaning this universe, No, not our universe, the other universe, the other sacred universe, which is quietly from afar, far from a from approximately far away from the solar system itself, which, as I told you, it's a very far away universe. Anyway, despite that, the Dark Witches, which are a very shadowy group, decided to put their interest on these creatures and on the entire interest publication on their goals to see if these monsters and these creatures will exactly give them the propagation and the progress they've been seeking. To that end, they decided it's best to unleash a horde and a flock of these creatures to attacking the neighboring sacred countries, and the neighboring sacred nations of the entire sacred great nation, to which released enormous amounts of havoc and chaos upon its way, which created a battle zone and a war between 4 nation hunters, 7 nation hunters, and fairies and warlocks and druids and witches and druids and warlocks and witches who had to fight up against these rogue creatures and beasts from wreaking amounts of havoc and carnage and destruction upon their wake. After the great destruction and chaos caused by these creatures and caused by these beings, the great protectors realized that there was some sinister, mysterious, malevolent force of evil that was quietly highly at work, that was quietly, literally orchestrating all these events, and they decided it's best to keep their top priority and their eyes and ears into becoming highly observant on the sinister threats within the sacred magic universe and within the threats of the sacred universe and within the threats of the sacred great nations and of the unknown star system and of the unknown sister star systems world of the unknown sister worlds and of the unknown sister worlds of the entire sacred universe as well, and especially within sacred society. Over the following centuries, the group of the dark shadowy witches remain highly in the shadows, as they would all exactly reassemble through the powerful configuring of the greatest astral projection, of the greatest dark reflection of themselves, the astral projection, where they all exactly meet in a dark cave in order for the leader to exactly tell the rest of the group that they plan and everything else must remain a halt, now that the Lord of Magic has rose to power and that he's still exactly controlling the Shadow Empire, to which the other members agreed that will be quietly best for themselves, that will be quietly best for their own interests and for themselves as well, for them to exactly remaining low and not to taking any drastic actions as well. Over for the following few decades after their last assembly, the other members began fully fulfilling their assigned missions and roles, as by literally manipulation, as by manipulating the alien galactic councils, of all the other planets and sister worlds, into trying to creating conflict, into trying to expose the wars of conflict between aliens and supernaturals, to which it will further the ultimate goal and the ultimate plans in the progress. With that also being said, the 4 nation hunters even thwarted those plans and foiled those plans before they can easily bear into fruition. But the other members of the group remain highly aware that the threats that the 4 nation hunters and that the other sacred hunters of the sacred world pose to their goals and to their long-term plans as well. On the on the following on the following on the near end of the great centuries, the group manages to make a powerful ancient powerful alliance with a powerful, dangerous, elite criminal organization that is more highly ancient, and more highly adaptable to its greatest technology, obsessing with the ancient geographical technology powers, and its greater ability of accessing the power of immortality and the power of the greater power of immortality and the greater power of great supernatural and spiritual powers as well, to which this powerful elite ancient criminal organization decided it's best to form a group with these shadowy unknown elite shadowy dark witches, to aiding them on their respective goals, to which in doing so and in theory it will further solidify and strengthen their alliance. Even it will, oh yes, it will actually solidify and strengthen their alliance, and also their great goals, since the two share a common interest and a common goal as well, which the leader of the group of the Dark Witches manages to exactly tell the leader of the organization herself or him, whoever exactly was leading it, exactly told them that their goals are fully aligned and that they're willing to become immortal, godlike beings for them to rule the entire sacred universe and the rest of sacred society. But to do that, they might need unlimited resources and more unlimited power, to which they all agreed that for their long-term plans to bear fruit, they must complete their soul captivity. And that is where the alliance began forming, and the pact, the ancient pact that the two formed, would always remain the same, and it will always strengthen their alliances and their goals together, no matter what, as well, to their sources and to their operatives and to their sleeper agent, and also to their most powerful hidden allies and their minions. The two groups have formed a powerful, formidable alliance that would strengthen it, and that would also help the two of their groups' goals and obligation to successfully bear fruit for its long-term plans as well. After the Great Alliance was made within the following years, the group of the dark shadowy witches agreed that it's time for them to remain low and to keep a close open mind now that the great original Lord of Magic is in power and still successfully ruling the Shadow Empire and willing to exterminate and eradicate the supernaturals, aliens, superhumans, Phoenician hunters, and all other creatures alike. To which the other members agreed, then that is exactly what they'll do as well. On the actual day of the 15th of May, the group of the dark shadowy witches told every member to begin to reassemble, begin to actually starting to reassemble through the dark reflection of the astral projection on a dark hidden hideout of a cave, to where they all exactly began to reassemble, to discussing the demise of the original Lord of Magic under the most powerful superhero known as the prophesized child, known as the actual prophesized child, as the new universal man, who is now the leader and founder of the Universal Heroes. To which the other members exactly told the leader that they quietly feel saddened with the death of the most powerful dark magical creature and being known as the original Lord of Magic. The leader exactly told the members that they'll exactly continue pursuing with their goals and with their mission, to which is very crucial for them to exactly remain a very, very high detail, that the operation must still continue despite the setback and despite the death of the most powerful dog being known as the original Lord of Magic, to which was a huge great loss for all of them, and also huge great loss for all of them and for the rest of the associate. But regardless of that, the leader exactly told the other members to keep an open mind, not to take the universal heroes and not to take any of their allies, not to take any of their allies lightly. It would be wise for them to not to repeat the same mistakes and failures as the most powerful, darkest adversary is now dead, who was revealed as a mentor to some of them. As the other members exactly told the leader, then that is exactly what they'll do. On the actual 20 on the actual 25 of on the actual 20 on the actual 20 on the actual 25 on the actual yeah yes on the actual 25 of June, the leader of the shadowy witches of the group was able to reconvene with the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders on a very dark crystal cave, which held huge, great, magnificent crystal statues of powerful magical creatures and dark godlike creatures, and a powerful ancient painting and a powerful ancient painting in ancient languages and words on how this mysterious being had the ability and had a powerful darkest ability of communicating with the monsters of the sacred universe of sacred society, rather and in using that communicating to create an army of these creatures so that he can expand his dominion and his ruling over the entire sacred society and the rest of the sacred countries of the sacred great nation. On that predicament, the leader began to actually demonstrate. The leader began to actually reveal himself from the shadows as the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders began to reconvene on them on that cave, which the cave held ancient, powerful mythical statues of powerful godlike creatures and powerful genetic hybrid creatures and powerful hybrid creatures and more sentient ancient monster-like creatures and beings, which represent that they are more ancient creatures and ancestry of the and the ancestors and the descendants of these monsters and some of the great powerful species of the druids, witches, faithful, and all alike as well. On that predicament of the meeting on the ancient cave, to which the Shadow Empire warlord and commander agreed to meet the leader. The leader exactly told the Shadow Empire warlord and commander that they must all agree to supply them with enough destructive technology for them to precisely beginning with their goal and with their fullization of their meeting. To which the Shadow Empire warlord and commander exactly told the leader, then that is exactly what to do, as long as they in return will benefit more control over human society and the rest of the other known worlds. But the leader exactly told the allies of the Shadow Empire warlord commander that the other ancient criminal organization known as the Order of the Five and the founders have managed to tighten their grip and their control over human society and over the entire solar system and half of sacred society and the known worlds, it proves to them will be a two-way street for them to actually benefit and controlling. The Shadow Empire warlord agreed that it's time for them to deal with the universal heroes and with the rest of their allies, to which they have a bigger plan in mind for them to help them out. And the leader exactly told the Shadow Empire warlords and commander that it would be wise not to make the same mistakes as your previous brethren and sisters of your entire kind have managed to do in taking the threat lightly. And they reassured him that they have a greater plan in not underestimating the threat, as they've been fighting with them for the past few years and for the past few months, as he exactly tells them. On the actual 20th of July, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders and the rest of the entire forces were heavily equipped with the destructive technology, approaching the great ancient white clan civilization, beginning to destroying it with the destructive technology, enough to wreaking enormous amounts of destruction of an earthquake that could literally decimate the entire block of the region, enough so that the other white statues were completely shaking across the residents, until the elderly councils and all the elderly councils were forced to come out in order to see what was happening with the ruckus, as all of the people and the inhabitants began running out of commotion. They decided it's best to fight up against the Shadow Empire warlord and commanders and to take them out completely. The fight lasted until the mighty universal founders returned in order to stopping the Shadow Empire warlord and commander. One Shadow Empire warlord and commander exactly remained within the shadows, as he told the others to withdraw now that they understand how the threat works and how they precisely think and act as well, to which will be beneficial for them as well. On the actual 19th of August, the Shadow Empire warlord was able to enter the sinister, shadowy hideout of a cave, to where all the dark reflections of the astral projection of all the members of the sinister elite group of the Dark Witches began revealing themselves. The others projected themselves with a white bright astral projection of white bright light, while the others used a dark reflection of an astral projection of themselves. Either way, the other members exactly began hearing the Shadow Empire warlord commander telling them that they completely unsuccessfully succeeded in destroying the White Clan, proving that it's too dangerous and too powerful to be taking higher dark drastic actions in trying to destroy the White Clan, and to purposely wiping it out in the actual phase of its true destruction as well. The leader of the group exactly explained to the Shadow Empire warlord that the Universal Founders are highly trained in sensory perception and detection, knowing that the destructive technology that the Shadow Empire warlord and commanders exactly held was long enough for them to sense it and for them to actually detect it, which in other words exactly tells them that the threat was highly closing in on their perimeter. And the leader quietly advised the Shadow Empire warlord not to repeat the same failings and the same mistakes as he told the Shadow Empire warlord that they will take it from here since he has done his part and he did exactly as they exactly all predicted, as the other members exactly told him that they will handle the rest of the assignment to themselves, since that the mission has already taken its directive course in its directive positioning as well. But the Shadow Empire warlord exactly reassured his allies and his greater associate that he will still supply the organization and the group with destructive and highly compatible technology as part of their deal and as part of the ancient pact, as they all agreed onto that. And the other members still exactly felt honorable that they'll keep the end of the deal as well. On the 13th of September, the members of the organization began to reassemble for the next powerful sinister ritual, as all the dark reflection of the shadowy astral projection and one of the other members were in bright white light astral projection began literally focusing the entire powers and thoughts in a sinister dark ritual where they all exactly summoned an ancient mythical creature statue, an ancient mythical creature statue, mythical powerful creature statue, an octopus creature-like statue, to using its tentacles and powers to begin the ancient architect ritual of giving back the power and energy to all life. In return, that power would also be extracted and absorbed from the entire powerful ancient white wizard, and also from the entire ancient white witch, to which they were able to precisely able to capture and detain during the chaos of the White Clan, where the Shadow Empire warlords exactly used that commotion in order for their forces to capture and to strategically take these creatures for the masters to begin the entire extraction and for the entire extraction of taking the powers and implanting them inside the octopus statue, to which it exactly was able to do so. The leader exactly told the members their plans are now beginning to bear fruit as well. On the actual 15th of October, the great leader was completely within her entire sacred dark magical village, which this village is another hidden realm and another hidden dimension, which is quietly between outside space and time, but it's quietly within the close proximity of the sacred great nations and within the entire sacred magical worlds and cities and villages and magical rural villages and areas, which is quietly a perfect place for the entire sacred magical clan to be isolated from the entire populated area of sacred society, to which the leader was able to exactly rule the entire nation and the entire village with great iron fist, as two leaders of the organization and the other founding original members were still exactly within the entire periodic table. The leader of the group exactly explained to the rest of the inhabitants that the entire sacred society will one day belong to them, and that the time for them to rule and to reclaim what is rightfully theirs will finally bear fruit, one way and the other. And all thousands of all the inhabitants exactly were pleased as they all began going forth to proceeding to their greatest assignment and also to their usual life, as by carrying out the usual life. But the energy of the entire dimension and realm began shifting, because the sky is quietly pink and purple due to the atmospherics rate of the entire village and of the entire great nation itself as well. Regardless of that, the leader and the original members began sitting on the great chairs began sitting on the great chairs, discussing their plans and the facilitation of their plans, learning that the universal heroes are definitely going to become a problem, and they decided it's best to allow the other members to take higher measures in dealing with the threat personally, to which they know that they cannot be taken lightly, as all the others precisely agreed on that as well. On the actual 10th of November, the mighty members of the sacred team, who are a secret covert team that works on behalf of the universal heroes and on behalf of the united heroes, who are tasked in uncovering dark secrecy and dark secret conspiracies and all of that from dangerous, sinister, villainous organizations and all of their partners and all of their associates and all of their newest members and the newest collaborators, all of that. That's the team's true purpose, and the team's true mission is protecting human society and sacred society from sinister, shadowy threats and from all evil forces alike as well. To which the members of the sacred team began taking an entire group of wounded refugees across the other world, to where they began fully being heavily to which they began fully becoming heavily full ambushed by the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, who exactly told them that their time here is over. The sacred team exactly fought up against the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders as they completely held up against their own and realized that there was another powerful shadowy figure standing behind the scenes of the battle, and the other member decided it's best to fight that mysterious shadowy figure from the shadows, and which he gladly did and fought up against him. He proved to be too powerful and too deadly until Phoenician hunters and other creatures arrived to aiding the sacred team, and the other member of the sinister shadowy elite of the witch organization decided it's best to teleport himself and retreat before he drew the wide scale of a battle, to which was not in his best interest as well. On that very particular day, the other members of the sacred team discovered that these members were wearing powerful dark black cloaks, as the members of the sacred team told the Phoenician hunters and the rest of the universal heroes allies that they're dealing with powerful, sinister, unknown threats and unknown forces, and the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders don't just attack them without a cause, to which they precisely never do that. And the others members began to agree that they are fighting a new terrorist organization, one more powerful and one more shadowy and one more ancient and one more very, very dangerous. The true goal of the organization's goals, to which they're going to try to find out and figure out what it is before it takes a very destructive turn for them to be fighting in a long-term plan of saving human society and sacred society from utter destruction as well. On the 8th of December, the members began to reconvene through the dark reflection of the shadowy astral projection, as all the other members began to represent themselves in the bright white astral projection, as the other member exactly told the other members it was quietly not a very good decision to attacking the sacred team, because that team is a sacred covert team that works on behalf of the universal heroes and of the Phoenician hunters of the Intergalactic Coalition. By doing so, it'll draw unwanted attention. The other leader of the group, which the other leader was quietly held up somewhere due to personal business that she had to take care of, exactly told the members that they did a big mistake, because now they'll be redirecting all the attention to them, which is not exactly a good look for them. And despite the cloaks that they wear, the black cloaks that symbolizes the organization itself, exactly told them that now they're going to have to be forced to speeding up the process of their plan. But the other members exactly told them that it wasn't quite a reckless action in order to see exactly what they were dealing with, because in doing so they've gained more information that the Phoenician hunters and the sacred team, who are a covert team, are fully working with each other and they're fully collaborating with each other. To which the leader began telling the members that it would be wise for them to keep their eyes and ears open, because next time when they're beginning to further their plans, they must not do anything reckless, as he advises all the members to remain low and to keep a close, open mind in every action they take. They cannot afford any attention and anything drawn back to them, to which they all precisely agreed on that. On the actual 8th of January, the leader of the group of the Dark Witches began to meet up with the masked man within the ancient nation that he was able to rule from the tower, and he began exactly telling him that the facilitation of their plans is now coming quietly along, and everything is about to move forwardly according to plan. The masked man was quietly wearing a black mask, exactly told the leader that he's very impressed with how far they managed to rise, and that they partners and that they greater partners, and a greater long-term ancient partner has managed to supply them with more greater destructive technology, which means, in other words, they will receive more allies and they will receive more helping hand than ever before, which will make sure that their goals and the organization goals will successfully bear fruit as well, to which the leader began to agree with that. After that, the masked man began putting on his entire black cloak and putting on a powerful hoodie in order to hide his true appearance and everything, telling the leader that it's time for their goals to bear fruit, and that universal man's power is definitely needed for the creature statue to begin its full rotation in order for one of the members to becoming the host, so that they can use the great invincible ancient forbidden power to creating utter destruction, so that the monsters on the entire sacred universe could rule entire sacred society, and then they will become the immortal gods, and the longtime partners as well will also become the remaining rulers of human society. That by doing so, they'll destroy any opposed threat and anything that dare opposes them, including Lord Jet and the Order of the Five, Order of the Six, the Galactic, and all the other top competitors of the other secret society of the criminal organization. To where the leader began to agree, then that is about time that the goal itself began taking place, to which he disappeared on that very spot, on the very meeting, as the other member exactly told the leader that everything is about to bear fruit as well. On the 13th of February, the members began to reassemble on a dark, shadowy cave to where the dark witch leader exactly told the members, as through the dark reflection of the shadowy astral projection, exactly told them that now it's time for them to take a full participation in hunting down the wizards, witches, druids, one of the most powerful notable members, because now the greatest partners are waiting for the powers and for the abilities for the machine to begin taking teleportation and work for its true goals and for its true purpose, to where they all began to agree. Then that is exactly what they'll do. The newest members ask exactly what is a long time partner willing to gain with the other members of his group and his organization by having all these powers throughout the machine to be fully charged. The leader exactly obliges the other member that the power of that machine will be used to extract the powers of the supernaturals, so that they can fully infuse themselves with the powers of the greater technology, with the powers of the greater geographical geographical technology energy source, combined with the power of monster DNA, in order to infusing it to increase their powers and to enhance their abilities in a more far greater pursuit than ever before, which in doing so, in theory, will transform them into mortal, like godlike beings that were never seen and never undetected, which in theory will make them highly powerful and highly dangerous as well, to which they will all benefit by ruling human society and the entire sacred society and the rest of the sacred great nation by conquering everything within its close proximity. And then by doing so, they'll use those powers to decimate a quarter of sacred society and wiping out the Four Nation Hunters and the Universal Heroes in a process, so that humanity can finally take its rightful place within the entire centerpiece of the cosmos, so that they can become the remaining species, and their kind and the entire civilization of the monster civilization and of the supernaturals and of the other creatures will also be ruling and controlling mankind with an iron fist, placing their sole dominance on the mortal plane and on the physical plane, which in theory they will also be the rulers within the shadows and decimating the sacred leaders of the sacred great nation. That is the sole purpose and the goal of the plan of the alliance and the goals of the two groups of the organization itself. That is which they are willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that goals systematically bear fruit. And the member began to oblige, then that is what they are willing to do to bear their goal, since they all joined up for their own reasons as well. Despite that, guys, this group of the Dark Witches is a very shadowy group and a very dark group, very ancient and very sadistic and very powerful. Each member is a very powerful supernatural criminal, very ancient, very ancient, very shadowy. The leader of the group, the leader of the dark group witch organization are 5 leaders. Do you hear me, guys? 5 leaders, meaning 5 masterminds, meaning 5 shadowy masterminds who manipulate events from behind the scenes, and they are very clever, highly genius, and highly superior due to their intellect, and very highly resourceful. The members bear the power of telepathic communication, the power of projection, the power of shadowy projection, to which they can literally project themselves through a shadowy mirror reflection of themselves, and the others can also do that as well through a white projection, through a white bright light of a white shadowy, through a white bright, powerful, colorful white bluish astral projection of themselves, proving that they are very powerful and very unique. Each member has the power of teleportation, super speed, super strength, the ability, immortality, long gravity, swordsmanship. Others are skillful in marksmanship, detection, the power of sensing, perception, manipulating dark magic and dark arts, and different various techniques and very unknown powerful techniques, summoning, recasting, the power of dark shadowy recreation, unknown powers and unknown different abilities, camouflage and stealth perception, shadowy disappearance, and also reappearing and disappearing at will, the power of reconvergence and summoning monsters, creatures, and even the octopus giant monster statue at will, to which the leader herself and the other masterminds have proven to be powerful as well, to which the other members have begun to realize that each leader of the group is a very powerful public face of the organization, and they are very powerful. They possess enormous amounts of destructive godlike abilities as well. As I told you, they are five leaders and 5 founding leaders and 5 founding leaders and 5 founding leaders and members and masterminds of this group of the dark witches, which the goals of the group are composed of controlling the entire sacred magic universe and the rest of sacred society, and placing a full dominance over humanity and the rest of the sacred universe, wiping out the universal heroes and controlling the entire sacred society, and removing the sacred leaders of the sacred great nations, so that their kind and their species will have full control over the rest of sacred society. They are very powerful, very systematically creative with the ideas, as each member and each mastermind possesses a powerful, unique ability, and each possesses different, various powerful, forbidden techniques and forbidden powers. As the other Phoenician hunter elders and leaders began to speculate that these powerful shadowy elite criminal organizations are very powerful due to the real shadowy masterminds orchestrating and manipulating events from behind the scenes, while the real members do the exact same thing by manipulating events from behind the scenes. But they also state that the real masterminds and the founding leaders of these groups are very powerful and are also very destructive as well. And also due to that, they create many numerous networks of sleeper agents, spies, and greater operatives and greater associate, forming alliances with the Shadow Empire warlords, destructive warlocks, witches, druids, and powerful warlords, and the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders share a close personal connection and a close personal partnership with this group and with the other powerful dark ancient organization, to which this group of the dark witches, ancient shadowy dark elite criminal organization of the witches has managed to form a formidable partnership with the other ancient powerful dark organization, to which is more powerful and more dangerous and more very systematic as well. They do have the power of influential and the power of great connections throughout the entire sacred society, and throughout the entire sacred society, utilizing the members' expertise, their talents, and their greater abilities, due to the members possessing each unique talent and due to the members each possessing a unique talent and unique abilities as well, to which they do have greater immense resources and greater immense influential connections, and they are very proven to exactly utilizing those connections to furthering their long-term plan goal and their mission. all the other members and all the other masterminds of the organization have learned that the universal heroes and the allies of the universal heroes, such as the members of the United Heroes, pose a threat to their goals, but they've learned the hard way not to repeat their failings. As a leader tells the members that it'll be wise for them to keep the universal heroes alive in order to cripple their competitors' goals and mission, who are the founders. The founders are an ancient, powerful, ancient shadowy secret society of supervillains who are also a criminal organization, and the Order of the Five, Order of the Six, Order of the Six, the Galactic Sacred Circle, the Galactic Sacred Circle, and Sacred Five, and also the Unholy Alliance, and the other ancient, top, primal, criminal, ancient secret society of supervillains, and the organization as well, to which they also pose a threat to their goals as well. Despite that, the members and the leaders are very good in maintaining their individual bases of operation, as well as their hideouts, caves, ancient temple, and as well as a central headquarters, which they have many central headquarters as well, due to ancient caves and to ancient towers and everything. But their central headquarters are many, as the leader's central headquarters is an entire different realm, an entire different nation, to which he rules with an iron fist with the other original members of the group, and they very much quietly rule the nation with an iron fist, proving themselves to be godlike beings and to be true immortal godlike beings as the inhabitants of the nation, and began to exactly see that for themselves as well, because of the immense greater power and the immense greater perception of the abilities and of the greater powers and of the greater abilities. They are very clever, very well calculated, very well superly intelligent, and very well superly anesthetic, due to all the members having different various powerful abilities and various techniques. They are all proven to be worthy to join the group and the organization itself, knowing its history with the other powerful criminal organization that has managed to form a powerful symbiotic alliance with this group, to which they do share a common goal and a common interest as well. Oh, due to this, guys, this group shares a personal, closer relationship with Ghost Master and with the Shadow Empire Warlords, and with Red Knight, and also with the Dark Druids, and with Amber, the Goddess of Power, also known by different alias as the Witch of Power, and also with the Dark Seekers, because they are some of the other members were after all greater followers of the original Lord of Magic, and some were other original followers of Valak Hellfire, to which they understood their goals and they understood their perception. So which means their connections literally run deep, and the influential connection and the power connection runs more deeper. This group is very ancient, powerful, dangerous, very systematic, has a destructive purpose and a goal and a long-term plan and an ultimate goal of remaining as immortal, godlike beings, ruling, dominating, controlling, and making sure the dominance of all creatures and beings literally exist in one world, and in different worlds and in different societies of sacred societies and in human society, making sure that their kind and their species remain highly indetectable and also highly powerful as well. They are very dangerous and are very powerful supernatural criminals with a long-term plan and goal and with a mission. And the 5 leaders of the group, and the founders and the leaders of the group, are powerful shadowy masterminds, have known to possess destructive and more powerful abilities, while the other members of the group are the public face of the organization. But some of them are more powerful, others of them are more powerful, some of them most weakest, but others of them are more powerful. Due to that, they are all powerful, but these are the most powerful shadowy masterminds, and they know not to reveal their faces to the public faces of sacred society, and especially to the faces of the sacred great nation. But they've learned that the universal heroes are wise to be used to be alive, and they've also decided that universal man's power is needed for the octopus statue to begin its full mutation, to begin its full transforming ability, so that one of the other members can become the host to fully synchronize and to fully infuse himself with the creature, so that he can become, or she can become, a godlike being to use that forbidden power and that technique to begin to redo the process, so that their kind and their species will rule the rest of sacred society. Well, guys, That's it for today's episode. I'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday. Please continue to like and subscribe on today's episode. I would really appreciate that. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate your support. Love it. Means a lot to me. On today's episode was the Dark Witches, but I don't know exactly what I'll call the group. I'll figure it out on the way. I'll upload the 2 episodes in Shorts and also in YouTube and also in TikTok. Please continue to like and subscribe. Stay safe and stay positive and keep going and keep pushing. Love you guys. I'm truly grateful for you guys' support. Happy to see you again, and I'll see you again tomorrow. And always keep pushing, always keep pushing, and always keep trying to strive harder. Love you guys' support. May God bless you and may you bless your day and stay safe and stay happy. Appreciate you and always love you. Bye. See you tomorrow.